Schumann playoff edition.
We're still going.
After a Niner victory in Philly. So let's start there. Mike, takeaways.
Well, I was getting ready to cut my hair before that game because I said I'm not going to cut it until the Niners lose. And now I'm just going to wait for that remake of Back to the Future.
Yeah,
play the old
popping out of the DeLorean.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just an unbelievable game. And we were talking earlier, Philly set up the fact that they played the Niners. They didn't play their starters in the last game.
Yeah, got what they wanted.
And A.J. Brown misses that square end. Brock had 2 interceptions. But it took a Jauan Jennings touchdown pass for the 49ers to win that game. Kyle Shanahan brought that play out of you-know-where. He hadn't done that in a couple of years. So just an unbelievable game. And what I talk about with this team is culture. They just find ways to win. And we've talked about it all year. This is a bunch of guys that are getting a chance that never would have had a chance. And here they are in the divisional playoffs. So it's impressive. And if they... I don't know. It's starting to seem like fate to me, kind of like that 81 team I was on. There's no way we should have been in the Super Bowl, but that's the way it worked out. So let's hope that's it, and they can be the home team for the Super Bowl.
So maybe it's not the 81 Jags. Maybe it's the 81 Niners.
Yeah, reincarnation.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Mike, you bring up some good points. I mean, if we would have sat here and said Brock's going to have 2 interceptions, play a little shaky in the middle of the game, look great on the first drive.
And those are on him. They weren't tip balls.
Yeah. Bad passes, right? Bad decisions on his part. But, man, this team is just – they're battlers,
it's
right?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And I wrote down – I think they really played as a team. Philadelphia does not seem like they were playing as a team. And we could see by the end by Sirianni and Brown yelling at each other. But, man, what a sweet victory. You talk about Jennings, right? A recruit, right? Before all these guys. I mean, he was
a 4-star QB right there.
Yeah, and he can throw it pretty well. They throwed some Jerry Rice throws I saw.
No, it was an unbelievable. And that catch.
Yeah,
McCaffrey. For a running back to make that catch, incredible.
But just bittersweet. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, the bittersweet part's probably the Kittle. Right? I mean, that hurts. We could talk about the EMF around the practice facility. That seems to be a really, really big story this week. I got to say the biggest takeaway for me was the no-name Niner defense. The way a lot of these guys stepped up. Eric Kendricks been getting a lot this week. Yep. But how about Garrett Wallow? 10 tackles? Yeah. Who?
I had no idea who he was.
Who?
Yeah.
Garrett Wallow plays the game of his absolute life. Upton Stout has been coming on like crazy the last few weeks, playing great. Jair Brown gets hurt. They put back in Marcus Siegel, who started the game or started the season as a starter, hasn't played at all in 2 months, and he's 8 tackles. That one play, he literally sawed Barkley in half. And I don't think Barkley was the same after that hit.
No.
I mean, that guy just came up thumping. Again, I don't think he probably didn't even expect to play in the game. And he goes out there and just flies around making tackles. I mean, that tells me Bob Saleh will likely be getting a job this cycle, which is a bummer. But it's still awesome. And then the other part for me is Robinson on offense. Oh, man, we haven't seen this guy all year. And then that first drive, you're like, yeah, he's the best receiver out there.
Yeah.
Like, of course.
Well, another veteran receiver. He just needed some opportunities. Pearsall's coming back this week. It sounds
it's questionable, Mike, but let's get him out there.
We'll get a quarter out of him before something else happens.
That's a good point.
That would help with George Kittle gone. So, but, Jake Tonkus does a nice job. He gets open. He makes catches. He's not Kittle. Because Kittle's that inspirational guy on the team. Everybody rallies around him.
He's the best blocking tight end, and he receives, and he runs after the catch. I mean, he's a versatile guy.
Unbelievable.
And
that's a bummer.
There was, this Kendricks thing is, been a revelation. I mean, the last play of the game, he read that slant, obviously Hurts was not playing very well. But, there's some theory about that Tatum was just so banged up, right? And he's trying to play that they needed some fresh legs. And I think Kendricks, with his experience, comes in there. And it just felt like the defense was on the same page the whole game, right? And I think he did a really good job.
Definitely better in the passing game. Mike and I were talking. I do not know why Philadelphia got away from the run game. It seemed like early in the game it was like inevitable. If they want to run the ball, they're going to be able to. And for whatever reason, maybe it was some hard hits. Maybe their line broke down a bit. We did get the benefit of them having some issues at right tackle. But, man, I thought their game plan was questionable. But here's my other question. Kevin Patullo already got fired. He's getting a lot of slack all week. But is it all on him, or do you not trust your quarterback to call any innovative plays? Like, is he limited because of Hurts? Hurts 0 passes over 15 yards down the field. Jauan Jennings 1, by the way.
Yeah.
Jennings out through Hurts on Sunday. I don't know. I think you got to look at Hurts a little bit more. He's not even getting as much attention for as bad as he played.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when they had Kellen Moore there, their offense seemed to actually have some inspiration, right? And they ran some different plays. It's just so vanilla what they're doing. And I think, whether you bring up that they weren't running, they went away from the run. I think these wide receivers are sitting there complaining in the locker room. So then, he wants to try to throw some balls and Hurts. I don't know. It just seems like he can't make it happen. It's tough to say. They won the Super Bowl last year, but
I don't think he goes past his first read. Brock Purdy's got this great mind for a quarterback. I don't think Jalen has that, or he has it hadn't been developed. So, because you got Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Goddard. I mean, really? And none of these guys saw anything in the first half. You got to get the ball. And then if you wait 3 quarters and before you get your first pass, A.J. Brown missed that square in, which would have led to the game-winning field goal.
Yep.
It's tough to make a catch if you haven't seen the ball in 3 quarters.
Yeah.
John Taylor, we talked about it before, that touchdown he caught in the Super Bowl was his only catch of the game at the end of the game. And he told me, he says, shoot, it was just brutal because I hadn't seen a ball all game. So I just think Hurts is limited, and this is the difference in quarterbacks you see. Brock Purdy's so great with his mind, and so we'll take it no matter what. But that was a game I didn't think. I was telling Nick I won my 2 upsets on Saturday, came back Sunday, my 1981 Jags got coughing up, and then I was out of it, and I figured I hope the Niners win, and they did. So
yeah, and I'll just bring this up real quick because it's a self-proclamation. Took the Niners in the over, and it hit.
It was right on it, right?
Yeah. So, that was pretty nice. So, but here we go. We move on to Seattle this week. All right? And we have the Niners versus Seattle. The Niners, 7-point dog. Okay? I'm going to bring up
7.5 in some places.
Does it move to 7.5?
Some places have it at 7.5.
Which is way too many points for a divisional playoff.
So, I looked it up. The 1983 San Francisco 49ers were 10-point dogs to the Washington Redskins.
And lost that game.
You allowed to say that?
Is it Redskins? Guardians? What's the team name now?
I don't even know.
Commanders. But they were the Redskins then, so it's okay.
Right.
All right. Yeah. But anyway, this is the biggest underdogs that they've been since that game. Nick was born. I was born. We were about 1 year old. Do you remember that game?
I do remember. And Ronnie Lott got called for a phantom pass interference down on the goal line in that game. Okay. And it ended up costing the 49ers a game. So
Bill Walsh was the coach back then, right, in that game?
Yes, he was. And then they went on to the Super Bowl the following season.
So here we go. In 44.5, I see. It's pretty much very
44?
Yeah. 44.5.
Well, very similar. Play. It's
over-under is last week.
And Sam Darnold, a little oblique injury.
Yeah.
Which
they're already starting the excuse.
It depends on what side that oblique's on. But, and like we talked about before, he always kind of chokes it down. He won 13 2 years in a row, and then just doesn't show up in the playoffs. When is he going to overcome that? So we'll see what happens.
Hopefully not this year.
Hopefully not this week.
But they got some weapons and a leading receiver in the league. 117 catches. His name?
JSN.
Yeah. So it's going to be, and they got some solid running backs. So, and that defense is lit. They kind of know how to face the Niners because they faced them twice this year. So everything's working against them. But that 7.5 is just, that's a lot.
So let's see if we get surprised here. But who you taking, Mike?
Well, like I say, I'm
too many points.
I'm hoping for a haircut, so I'm going to take, and I'm almost afraid to take the Niners because I've bet against them all year.
Okay.
Because if I do, maybe they'll lose, but I'm going to take the Niners in those 7.5 points.
Oh, okay.
It's just too many points, and so we'll see what happens. But even without Kittle, I think Tongas would do a good enough job. Robinson now is confident, so I think they can make it happen. As long as you have McCaffrey and Purdy, the 49ers can generate some offense.
All right, you like the over or the under in this game?
Ooh, boy.
44.5.
In this game, I'm going to take the over. Although the later you go into playoffs, the lower the scores seem to get. But I don't know why. I just think this might be a fireworks.
All right. Well, I like the Niners in this game. I like getting the 7.5.
No way.
I'm hoping they pull this game off. Obviously, in the last week of the season, they only scored 3 points, right? So the under would be, terrible if that happened. But I like the Niners. I like the over in this game. I think they're going to look at that tape, figure out a way to score against Seattle's defense. I think Seattle's defense is probably better than Philadelphia's defense.
Yes.
I would definitely say that. And Mike McDonald's got those guys playing. And this is going to be a game of, can we get to Sam Darnold? Okay, make him make mistakes, and I think stopping their run, because they just ate the Niners alive in the run game last time they played, and we knew Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, they got Shakir, they got all these guys. The D has got to play like they did last week.
And the D hasn't been able to put pressure on the quarterback from the defensive line. So last week, Saleh blitzed more than he maybe has all year. So they might see that again this week against Darnold, because he struggles when people are coming after him.
Yeah. What do you got, Nick?
Couple guys to watch. You brought up Ricky Pearsall. We really need Ricky back
to earn his money.
That's a different dynamic in the passing game. We did not have Ricky week 18 in Seattle. The other one to watch is D. Winters, still questionable. I get it. Those linebackers played over their head, but I would love to have a little bit more depth, right? And not expect Garrett Wallow to continue to dominate all over the field.
But they were all experienced linebackers, like we talked about, so that's why they played as well as they did.
I agree. You can definitely see Kendricks in the passing game superior to Bethune.
Yeah.
Bethune did actually have a couple of good blitz plays when we played Seattle, so yeah, let's hope that those boys can continue to rally. Jair Brown is out. Fred Warner is officially out, which is crazy that his practice window is even open. Yeah. I do see Fred on the sideline this week because now he's back on the active roster. And
that alone's inspiration.
A little bit of inspo. They said he was leading the linebacker drills this week at practice, which is just awesome. What a guy. Love that. So that means I would assume Marcus Siegel again at safety, starting for us, which is just, again, a wild thought that a rookie 7th-round pick would be thrust into this, but why not? Let's go, Siegel. Yeah. I would also say that another big topic floating around this week is Kyle Shanahan against McDonald's defense. Over the years, even going back to Baltimore, McDonald has always kind of had the superior hand. Brock Purdy has never lost at Lumen Field, by the way.
Wow.
So that's a big one. So I'm taking the Niners, and I'm going to take the over because overs are more fun.
Yeah.
It's just a funner game to watch. I mean, we scored 3 freaking points at home in a must-have division-winning game. I just got to think Kyle's got something cooked. Brock's going to play better. Let's go no turnovers from Brock this week and find a way to put up 24 to 27 points and win the game.
And it's not supposed to rain. It's just supposed to be about 40 degrees, which will be an advantage too. So, because that rain gets up there and it gets cold and wet, and it is so loud there because that stadium just goes straight up and down.
And did you see the email they sent to their fans?
I did not.
It said that if you are a season ticket holder and sell your tickets to Niners, you run the risk of not being able to be a season ticket holder next year.
Not renewed.
Good luck policing that, by the way.
Well, the Niners are the number 1 traveling team.
Number 1 travel team.
It's unbelievable.
We'll see. They said it was week 1, right? We opened there. They said it was like 56 to 65% Niner fans. They expect a lot less this week, but
there's going to be a lot of Niners.
If you're out there faithful, we need you. Let's hear you. I'd love to see a bunch of red in the stands when I turn the game on.
We've all seen these highlights of Fred Warner just like flying around practice, right? He looks ready to go. They keep, there was some reports maybe there would be a game time decision. Shanahan came out and said he's not playing. I'm 50-50 on this. I think, probably in 83, Mike, I think Fred Warner would have probably played.
Exactly, but they make too much money.
They make too much money
You
now.
can't afford, 83 we're making $50,000. You can get him hurt again and find somebody off the street. Now it's just too much of a chance. I know he wants to play, and I'd rather have him for the Super Bowl.
Well, he said he's back for the NFC Championship no matter what.
Okay,
Fred
so
already
there
said,
you
I'm
go.
playing next week.
And this team is starting to get a feel of the team of fate,
Yeah.
and destiny. It's got that because we've been talking about it all year. There's no team in the history of the league that has such a no-name group of players playing as well as they are. Man. It's just a bunch of guys getting their chance, and they're taking advantage of it. So Siegel's a great example. Until he hit Barkley, I'd say, who is that? I kept saying, who's that 36 out there? So he's getting a chance, and the only thing I worry about him is maybe a deep ball over the top. So
yeah, and we'll see. I mean, Fred's going to be obviously on the sideline. I think that's going to be a real big thing. But it's like, I think it's going to, can we score points, right? I mean, 3 points was, can Brock figure out a way to get this defense? Because I think if we can hold them to between 17 and 20, if we can score, we can win this game. I mean, it's been an amazing season so far. I can't, looking at all the injuries, I can't believe we're here, but we are, right? We're still doing this. And this is a team that is really fun to watch.
Yeah, I told Mike, it's house money. I mean, at this point, normally you're like, I'm really gripping, like, if we don't win this game, it's going to ruin me for 2 weeks.
Crushed. Yeah.
But honestly, don't get me wrong, I really want to win this game.
Right.
But at the same time, we lose this week in Seattle, it's like, yeah, of course we lost. Like, what did we think why would we, how lucky were we to even be there?
What a great
So that's what tells me it's our freaking year.
Let's go.
Right?
I mean,
we always have the best team and lose, so now we clearly don't have the best team. Let's go ahead and win.
That's what I'm talking about with destiny, fate, and destiny. So this is what, Super Bowl 60?
Yep.
Yeah,
at home.
Because 50 was at Levi also.
That's right.
I think Peyton Manning beat Carolina in that
That's
game.
right.
Middle arm Peyton Manning with that. But yeah, I mean, maybe the team's got less expectations. Like these teams from the past when the Niners have been like the best team, right? So they're playing.
That's a great
basically
point.
just loose and let's go and do it.
That's a great point, yeah.
All right, so other games we obviously have picked our playoff bracket. I even sent you guys, Cooper was perfect this week on his bracket.
That's good.
Just like his dad.
All right, we'll get Cooper back for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we'll bring him back out. But, okay, so
the only game I lost, I just want you guys to know, was the Packers game.
Yeah.
Up 21-3. I mean,
you left.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah.
So
that's a shame.
Yeah. And you're 81 Jags.
well, I picked my two
game
upsets
too.
on Saturday,
Yeah.
and then the Jags lost, and then my bet was over, and then the Niners won too, so I wouldn't want either way. So
Yeah, so we got Rams versus Bears in the other NFC matchup
in
here.
Chicago.
In Chicago,
Cold, windy day.
man, I think listen, the Rams, they didn't look very good
They
in that
haven't looked
Carolina
good for
game,
4 games.
right? And I think, listen, I picked Chicago to win this game. I still think that's going to be the case. I think the other game we got is Pats versus Texans. We keep bringing up this Texans team. You guys are talking about it. What do you guys think in that game? You think they could take out the Pats?
Well, that defense is phenomenal, Houston's, and I'm hearing that a lot of the defense are upset with C.J. Stroud's play. They want, what's the kid's name?
Davis Mills.
Davis Mills out of Stanford,
Yeah.
kind of
Got
a
a
system
big neck.
quarterback. Just there you go. Gets the ball out, lets guys do their job. So it'll be interesting to see who starts. You got to start Stroud with him.
Stroud's not going anywhere.
But
I picked the Texans to come out of the AFC
Yeah.
and win this game. Nothing that I saw on Monday night makes me feel bad about that pick.
No.
I mean, their defense scored 2 touchdowns. They are so ferocious on all 3 levels.
And Drake May hasn't seen a defense like this in a while. So it'll be that's probably one of the most interesting games.
That will be an ugly rock fight, is my prediction.
Rock fight.
That's going to be an ugly game, but I'm interested about it for sure.
And then, Josh Allen, can he get over this second hump here? The Broncos, obviously, they have had a really good team this year. He's got to go in there and win. But listen, if I was the Broncos, I do not want to be playing that man right now. I mean, figures out a way to win these games, and he's by far, I think, the best quarterback in the league going right now.
He put the Bills on his back and beat the Jaguars by himself.
Yeah.
And that's what I talk about. Great quarterbacks, So he's just phenomenal. And all these years he's supposed to be there. This might be the year where he can get to.
And that might be their worst team that he's had in the playoffs.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah. I watched that game and I'm like, Jacksonville is better than Buffalo at every position except quarterback.
Yeah, and
maybe not running back, but you know what I mean. Like, it was just so glaring that
he leads the team in rushing.
Josh Allen was not going to lose.
And it
did not matter.
Jacksonville, obviously Lawrence threw that pick that he shouldn't have thrown to end the game, but it's not like they played bad. They're a good team. They played good.
Right.
But yeah, Josh Allen has put him on his back.
It's the experience too.
So Denver's coming off a bye, another really, really good defense. That's going to be a tough. I mean, I picked the Bills, but that's another really, really tough matchup.
You know what I do like about these games is, like, it feels like we've kind of, the last 5 to maybe 7 years have kind of been like, all right, Mahomes, it's going to be Kansas City. This is kind of like a revitalization for the NFL. A lot of new faces in there, right? It's wide open.
We've been talking about it all year. No team is dominated.
Yeah, even Seattle's kind of got a new, fresh flavor a little bit.
They got a quarterback people don't believe in, right?
True.
Both of the 1 seeds, no one believes in Bo Nix yet. So, I mean, the parity is awesome. That's what's going to make.
And that's what makes these games so great.
Because
you don't know what's going to happen.
And, of course, the NFL does it again. Always, says, hey, we care about player safety, but yet they're going to put this Niners game on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Short week.
Where the Bears and the Rams both played on Saturday, so they get one extra day here for no reason except for TV.
Yeah. One team on 6 days and 2 teams on 8 days. Sure. Yeah. Make that make sense.
You can tell who they want to get in.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the player safety situation, NFL, at this point, just tell us you don't care. It's all about money, which we understand, right?
I can vouch for that.
Yeah. So, listen, this could be the best week, right?
I'm locked in. Saturday night, do not call or text me, please, during the game.
So I tell my wife I'm not available now till Tuesday because the NCAA finals on Monday. Miami and Indiana.
It's going to be amazing.
Another great game.
Going to be amazing.
Football's going to be amazing.
Let's go Niners. This will, again, we'll be back next week either way. Maybe super excited or maybe, just thankful for the memories along the way.
Look at you, Nick. Just like really.
I am. I'm at peace this year. I'm at peace.
I've never seen this before.
I'm at peace.
Go Niners. We'll see you next week.